What's good, family? What's good? We got your boy Urban Sports Guru. I'm here, fresh after another workout, and I'm gonna give you my Week 11 picks. Now, Week 10 was crazy. Yeah, I know it. Some people won money, some people lost money. I'm keep real with you. I lost some money last week, but it is what it is. It comes with the game. It's been crazy because a lot of underdogs, and this year been crazy because to see a level of consistency out of teams, and then you got certain teams that right now this is when they're going to be starting to make a playoff push. You have teams that play down to their competition. It's a lot of craziness in the NFL, and that craziness is what makes the NFL great, in my opinion, because it reaffirms the term any given Sunday. You could take a team like Jacksonville with not less than half of the premier talent that a Buffalo team has. Buffalo has one of the best rosters in the league, and they beat them any given Sunday. I love that shit. I really truly do. Any given Sunday. But we're going. First game, we got the Colts in Buffalo. This used to be a yearly thing, Colts in Buffalo, but since they broke up the divisions, it doesn't happen every year. Colts in Buffalo, and Buffalo's given 7. Buffalo had their get-right game against the Jets. And like I said, Buffalo has a great roster. They do. They have a great roster. And the one thing about Buffalo, and I said it, you saw them kind of get right with this last week but this was against the Jets. They're going against a better team, better roster, better defense this week with the Colts, is they have to run the ball better. They can't put everything on Josh Allen and everything just be big plays. It can't be everything and for Josh Allen to be their leading rusher. And Lamar Jackson can do that. It is nothing against Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen's more talented. But you can't just put all of that on somebody. You can't. You can't. And last week they did a good job of it. They're going to need to do that this week with the Colts. I'm going to take the Bills because I expect that damn good defense to get some pressure on Carson Wentz. I told y'all about Gregory Rousseau in the draft. I told y'all he'd be a steal, and he has been. My steals the last couple of years have been spot on, if y'all paying attention. First was T.J. Watt, then it was the funny Jonathan Taylor, the Colts running back, and then you got my steals in the draft the last 2 years are playing in this game. Jonathan Taylor and Gregory Rousseau. Pay attention. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I think the Bills are going to win because I think they're going to get pressure. I think they'll force a mistake or two out of Carson Wentz. And the Buffalo defense, I don't think they'll win running away, but that Buffalo defense is probably the best defense in the league. Their tackles, Restart Tuatele, Ed Oliver. They got great pass rushers on the outside. Edmonds when he's healthy, linebackers, and they have a great secondary. Great coaching. Not just the DC, but head coaching. I really like Buffalo. Their makeup, the only problem is, like I said, they play down to their competition. And offensively, if you wanted to poke holes offensively, the offensive line could be better. Colts have a good front. That could present some problems. Even more so why they need to be able to run the football, because Colts play a lot of that base Tampa 2. Not letting anything go over the top. You better run the football. Find ways to run the football. I think the Buffalo wins this game. Then we have Baltimore in Chicago. Chicago's coming off a bye. First sorry. Guy I'm a big fan of, the Mac Daddy, Khalil Mack. He's going to be he's injured. He's out for the rest of the year. However, what's happening with Lamar Jackson is this. Teams were previously afraid to blitz him because he can easily break contain. And if he breaks contain, he can hit it anywhere in the field, any play, he can hit his head on the goalpost. He's that fast. He's that talented as a runner. But he's made more of a commitment this year to play in the pocket. So what happened 10 days ago when he played Miami, First thing that happened is Miami dominated the line of scrimmage. The tackle Wilkins, they dominated line of scrimmage. That was the first time in, I think, the last 50 games since Lamar Jackson took over that they didn't rush for 100 yards. That's one. Not an easy thing against Baltimore. They run the ball extremely well. But more importantly, what Brian Flores said is like, okay, you're going to play in the pocket. We're going to treat you like any other quarterback. We're going to force you to process information immediately. Or that's your ass. And he wasn't processing the shit fast enough. Not fast enough. You saw on the first drive, he had a deep ball. He overthrew him for a touchdown. Missed. They had to settle for a field goal. And that was just a microcosm of the night. And a lot of times he just wasn't fast enough. Wasn't catching things fast enough. Wasn't reading the blitzes fast enough. Wasn't getting rid of it fast enough. And he paid for it. Now that he's going to make this transition to be more of a pocket passer, I do think one of the things he can do is run more because he can easily break contain, but he has to process this shit faster. He has to process it faster. Bears normally, they lead the league in sacks, so with Khalil Mack, and they got a plethora of other rushers, they're able to get to the quarterback with 4. But without Khalil Mack and with that blueprint, I think you're gonna see them blitz more. I think you're gonna see them blitz more, and I did expect to see them both sides of the ball. I expect Baltimore, they blitz. They're coming after that rookie. They are coming after him, and you better process it fast enough or break contain, or that's your ass. That's pretty much what's gonna happen on both sides of the ball, and I like Chicago to at least cover the 6 points that Baltimore's given, if not win the whole damn game. I think Justin Fields coming off a bye. He's a great thrower of the football. And I see the progression in him every single week. They give him a little bit more progression every single week. Baltimore's defense is not what it used to be. Taking Chicago in the upset. Next we have Detroit and Cleveland. Detroit and Cleveland, we have Baker Mayfield's going to play. He got his ass kicked last week against New England, as expected. But that's against Belichick. Detroit is bound to beat someone. I will hope they're bound to beat someone because I like the makeup of Dan Campbell, and he has the team playing hard. The spread is 12.5. I expect them to at least cover. But I don't know, this could be one of those games where Baker swaggers up and they score 40 and they beat up a bad team. So either way, Cleveland's going to win the game. The only question is, can Detroit at least keep it close enough to cover? But Cleveland's going to win the game. Then we got Houston at Tennessee. Tennessee is finding ways to win, which I like very much because they lost their main key in offense, which is Derrick Henry. And naturally, when you lose something like that, things are going to change. But I got to credit where it's due. Coming into season, I did not see this out of Tennessee's defense. And Jonathan Simmons, in my opinion, right now is the lead candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. All due respect to the corner in Dallas, this dude is dominating. He is, right now, I'm not saying he's as good as Aaron Donald, but he's having the best season of all defensive tackles. He's having the best season of all defensive tackles. He has arrived. He has arrived where basically he's that guy where every single snap, is he on the left side? Is he 3 technique, 5 technique, over the nose? You have to account for him on every play. And you have to arrange your blocking schemes for him every single play. He's arrived. I give credit where it's due. He has arrived. The one thing Tennessee has had an issue with for the longest is getting after the quarterback, and now they're one of the best teams at it. They're hunting quarterbacks down, and he is the biggest culprit, all because of him. And you're going against a Houston team that is not good. They're finding ways to win. Now they get a get-right game against a bad team. Spread is 10. I like Tennessee. You have Green Bay going on the road against Minnesota. I'm going to say Mike Zimmer's on the hot seat. I agree. A lot of people are feeling Minnesota, and I understand it. I always say, when you look at the talent on this team, just look at the defense. I talked to them, they've had ballers. They've been had ballers. And for some reason, for some reason, they're never a number one ranked defense. And Mike Zimmer's a defensive coach. You know, they got Patrick Peterson back. That's my guy. No, A-Rod's going to play. They got that battering ram of a running back. I think his last name is Dylan. And one thing Minnesota hasn't done well this year is stop the run. They have not stopped the run. It seems like what they do is they get every Giants defensive tackle that weak room and they sign them. You know, from LaVar Joseph to now Dalvin Tomlinson, but now they can't stop the run. They have not stopped the run well. I expect Green Bay to pound the run on them. I expect it to be an ugly game because Green Bay's defense is damn good. Like, what I'm seeing out of Green Bay's defense, I want to see out of Minnesota's defense because they have more talent on there. Bottom line, there's more talent on Minnesota's defense. When I look at Green Bay's defense right now, there's no one on that defense that's playing right now as talented as Anthony Barr. There's no one in the defense right now is individually as good as Kendricks. Kendricks, the middle linebacker. Neither one of their safeties are as good individually as Harrison. But yet Green Bay's defense is a lot better. They don't have an individually pass rusher that's as good as Danielle Hunter. I think he's injured, though. They don't. But Green Bay's defense is significantly better. And that's why I'm taking Green Bay. In an ugly game. I think it's going to be an ugly game. And you already know how I feel about Kirk Cousins. I don't give a fuck what time the game is. I just don't trust him at all. We have Miami, Jets. This is going to be a sorry-ass looking game. I had all the faith in Tua coming in, but he can't stay healthy. He doesn't process fast enough. He gets to play against a bad team. Jets, they're going to start Flacco. They're going to start Flacco. He gets to start against Joe Flacco. Hopefully Miami can ride this momentum from beating Baltimore and having 10 days off. It's like an extra bye week. Yes, they get to come in. They have to do it on the road, but shit, it's not like they never played in New York before. I like Miami. Give them 3.5. We have New Orleans and Philadelphia. Philadelphia is giving 2.5. And you know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to start putting some respect on the Eagles' name. I am taking Philly. Jalen Hurts, I am putting some respect on his name. He makes plays. And you got New Orleans defense. New Orleans defense right up, but Jalen Hurts makes plays. The comparison to Tebow, it's kind of spot on. Like, it just like with Tebow. Tebow had guys he can throw it to. Won a couple of times the games he did throw it. You know, Demaryius Thomas was an all-pro receiver with Peyton. Then you had Eric Decker. He was a Pro Bowl receiver with Peyton. So you had ballers to get the ball to. Philly has, Devontae Smith. He's a baller. Jalen Hurts, I give credit where it's due. Time for me to put some respect on his name. They give it 2.5 at home. I think they're going to keep pressure. Taking Philly. Then you have Washington and Carolina. Carolina's giving 3.5. I'm taking Carolina. I'm going to tell you why. Because Washington should have signed Cam Newton. This is Cam's get right game. This is Cam's I told you so game. Washington defense has not been what it should. Shout out to Taylor Heineke. He's not bad, but they should have signed Cam. They should have signed Cam. I say it again. They should have signed Cam. Now Cam get the whoop up on his old coach in Carolina. For all the people that love him in Carolina to see. Shout out to Cam Newton. This your get right game. Get your revenge. I'm taking Carolina. Then you got the 49ers at Jacksonville. And finally seen the 49ers offensive line that I was waiting to see all year in that running game. Bludgeon to Los Angeles Rams. Finally seen it. And I mean, they just bludgeoned them right down their throat. There's nothing you can do about it. And, you know, just had people say, oh, they don't have the big bodies like Ndamukong Suh. When they had Ndamukong Suh, they weren't a great run defense then. Why? Because Ndamukong Suh was playing out of position. Ndamukong Suh looks great now because he's playing Aaron Donald's position. But you're not going to play Aaron Donald's position next to Aaron Donald because nobody does that better than Aaron Donald. That's why that didn't look good when they were together. They were, as a team, a terrible run defense, if you remember. Let's revisionist history. But they were a much better run defense last year. And yes, they don't have a big front line. They don't. And 49ers took advantage of that, and they ran it right down their throats. Jimmy G was efficient. Very efficient. When they run it like that, it's hard to fuck that up. They get a get-right game against Jacksonville, given 6.5. This is my stone cold lock. 49ers going to bludgeon them. Take the 49ers. Then you got Cincinnati at Las Vegas. I think Joe Burrow and Cincinnati, they get back to winning. The receiver, forgive me, I'm forgetting his name. He needs to catch the football. When he catches the football, they make serious plays. I've seen him drop at least 3 touchdowns this year. At least 3 touchdowns I've seen him drop. At least 3. And I haven't watched every, but I've seen him drop at least 3 this year. So then you have Raiders just got too much going on. And Derek Carr needs to play for a different franchise. And the crazy shit about the Raiders is getting John Gruden was supposed to bring that stability back to Raiderland. And with everything that's happened is brought more chaos. You know what I'm saying? When there's chaos like that in an organization, it trickles down to the team. And it's hard to keep the team focused like that. It ended up trickling down to the team, and I seen Cincinnati winning this game. Now, in that premier game of the week, you had the Dallas Cowboys and the Kansas City Chiefs. You look roster to roster, it's not a question. As much as I hate the Cowboys, they have a much better roster. Far greater on defense. You know how good that offensive line is. My thing is, KC's looked good defensively these last couple of weeks, but this is against bad offenses. I want to see, can they stand up at home defensively and at least make Dallas one-dimensional? Because if Dak is able to, at the line, oh shit, you got 2 safeties back, pound the run, along with passing, this game's going to get ugly. I'm calling a spade a spade. This game will get ugly. And then it will force Patrick Mahomes to press. So the times he does get the ball may lead to a turnover or 2. Then Dallas, ends up blowing the game away. Kind of like what happened with Buffalo. I'm saying. With Buffalo. I expect, because I think they're going to play a lot of man coverage so they can have guys up to stop the run, keep the Honey Badger in the box. I expect them to play spirited defense early. And I expect Patrick Mahomes to at least to want to take up this challenge. Oh, y'all run with them like this? I got this mean squad. We've seen Patrick Mahomes against much better rosters. And Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. The quarterback is the ultimate equalizer. At the end of the day, I think they may actually leave Diggs one-on-one with Tyreek Hill. I think Dallas has the balls to do that. And I don't give a fuck who you are. You do not leave your guy one-on-one with Tyreek Hill. That's a different kind of speed. I'm sorry, that's a different kind of speed. There's great NFL speed, and then there's a guy who can race Usain Bolt speed, not in the same class. I expect a big play or 2 out of Tyreek Hill, and I think KC wins. Yeah, Arizona against Seattle. I expect Seattle to play much better. They played pretty decent defensively last week against a rusty Aaron Rodgers. But like I said, you got a rusty Russell Wilson. And the fact that I think his fingers still hurt, he missed a lot of throws that he normally does not miss. I expect him to play better. I think Kyler Murray is going to play. I expect him to play. But I just think Seattle is going to play better. At the end of the day, they have a defense that's not great. They give up a lot of yards, but they don't give up a lot of points. Meaning they don't give up a lot of big plays. And And in fact, Russell Wilson's going to play better. Like I said, quarterback's the ultimate equalizer. It's the ultimate equalizer. You get a great game out of Russell Wilson, then he win. I think Russell, this is his remember who the fuck I am moment for this season. It's going to be a bad year. This is his remember who the fuck I am moment. And Russell Wilson, I like the Seattle Seahawks. Then you have Pittsburgh on the road playing the Chargers. Chargers giving 5 at home against Pittsburgh. Big Ben is going to play. One thing that disappointed me the most about Pittsburgh last week is the fact that Dwayne Haskins didn't play. Dwayne Haskins. You can't beat out Mason Rudolph. I digress. But anyway, Justin Herbert has regressed. They putting too much on him. They're not running the football. Austin Eckler, I think, is a good third down back. I've never looked at him as an every down back. And it's kind of similar to the Josh Allen situation where there's too much on them and they're not running the football. Because they're not running the football, everything has to be big plays and all of that. And yes, he has a special arm. He has a special arm. But when you're not doing anything to make the defense at least be honest, it's not a good recipe for a young quarterback. It just isn't. It's not a good recipe at all. Eventually it comes home to roost. This is why you've seen him have the struggles that he's had. The offensive line is a lot better. Going against a good front in Pittsburgh. Good front in Pittsburgh, but one thing the Chargers will do, even though they got ballers on all 3 rows of the defense, all 3 layers of the defense, they got ballers. But the problem with the Chargers is they're horrible against the run. They are horrible against the run. And the one thing Pittsburgh want to do, regardless what they have at quarterback, is run the ball. And I like Najee Harris. And quiet is kept, that Pittsburgh O-line is getting slightly better every single week. And one of the worst things is about this, and it's sad, they should have left him in San Diego. Then again, it's kind of happening in San Diego too. They need a city to really adopt them and you to be ours. And I say that because that's a home game, but I guarantee you it sounds like Pittsburgh is at home. When big franchises go there, because I saw this earlier when they played Dallas, when big franchises go there, it's like they have a home game. Pittsburgh is a big franchise since the 70s. Watch that game. I guarantee you see more terrible towels than Chargers jerseys. That's a damn shame. It's one of the reasons why a lot of guys don't sign with the Chargers. When you think about it, they used to be in San Diego. Who doesn't want to fucking be in San Diego by the beach? Not in Los Angeles, for crying out loud. At least when motherfuckers come to play the Rams, you know that this is Rams country. Now you're playing the Chargers. It's like, oh shit, you're here too? Guys don't want to play in that. They don't. I think Pittsburgh get the upset. Last but not least, Monday night, you got my guys, my Giants, against Tampa, in Tampa. My guy Danny Dimes gets to go where he had his first career start, in Tampa, where he balled out, put everybody on notice. His career has been up and down since. You have a Tampa defense, especially in the secondary, that is bad. You have a pass rush that's not as good as it used to be. But you have a Giants offensive line that is, at times, look average, but most of the time is bad. They're coming off a bye. The defenses look better the last few weeks. I want to see Jason Garrett coming off a bye with a great game plan offensively to take advantage of the fact that there's a lot of holes in Tampa's defense. A whole lot of holes that you have the weapons to take advantage of. Giants have a pass catching tight end that they can't cover. They have receiver speed that they can't cover. If the Giants win, lose, or draw, don't score 30 points, I'm going to be furious. Furious. They should at least score 30 points and cover. That's all I'm saying. Those are my picks. It's your boy, Urban Sports Guru. I'm out. Salute.